Stiffer penalties could be coming for people who demolish listed heritage buildings. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, November the 9th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Now, if the Town and Country Planning Development Office gets its way, people who demolish listed heritage buildings will have to pay heavy fines. Deputy Chief Town Planner George Brown said the existing fine of $500 is grossly inadequate and must be increased substantially. Brown did not specify what his department wants the new penalties to be.
One of the things that you're faced with if someone for some reason demolish those buildings, the fine is very, very minimal. I mean, there's only $500. And we have made recommendations for this fee to be increased significantly so that it will serve as a deterrent for persons to demolish those listed buildings.
Speaking to secondary school students yesterday during a sensitization forum on the final draft of the Physical Development Plan for Barbados at the NUPW headquarters, Brown noted that a 1983 study showed there were more than 130 historic buildings in Bridgetown and its garrison and over 480 island-wide. He also told his audience that town planning had allocated an area in St. Lucie, which he didn't name, for the possible construction of a new airport. However, he noted that while he did not expect to see an airport there in the near future, provision had been made for it in the plan just in case. Brown said consideration had been given to projections that between 2020 and 2050 there would be a 21% growth in air passengers, a 16% improvement in flights, and 20% growth in air cargo.
We have identified an area in St. Lucie as a possible site for a new airport. So that we did that, we captured that in this plan so that any development would be, we would sterilize any development in that location, because that is one of the few remaining areas where you can have an airport. If as we think we need it, we have sterilized that area for you. But that area would continue to be used for agricultural uses, but we would not allow any development in terms of structures in that area.
A warning from the British Virgin Islands Director of Tourism, Sharon Flax-Brutus, that the absence of a proper national shutdown policy in Barbados in the event of a major hurricane could have a telling impact on the tourism sector. Flax-Brutus explained that following the devastation of Hurricanes Irma and Maria, which left many tourists stranded for several days on affected northern Caribbean islands, tourist destinations were now tasked with reassuring visitors that their safety was paramount. Her comments came amidst the year-old controversy over the relevance and ambiguities within Barbados' own national shutdown plan. Back in June, the Department of Emergency Management promised to revise the policy, which came under scrutiny last year after a number of businesses remained open during the passage of Tropical Storm Matthew last September, in defiance of the advice of the state-run agency that everyone should remain indoors until the all-clear was given.
We essentially, in the BVI, have looked at what to do with visitors in terms of when there's a scepter of a hurricane, or because we do have enough notification. Unfortunately for us, sometimes our guests don't want to leave. And we see that as well, not only in the Caribbean, we see it in other areas where there are disasters.
There's regional and international news after this short break. Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Former Antigua and Barbados police officer Alexis Bigfoot Thomas will be serving less time behind bars on his robbery conviction. The ruling was made by the appeals court on Tuesday. At the same time, a man who had been serving 25 years for rape has been released on bail pending a new trial.
Alexis Bigfoot Thomas was still a member of the Royal Police Force when he attempted to rob Paradise Casino at gunpoint in 2014. He was convicted by a jury a year later and sentenced to 23 years in prison for the offense. On Tuesday, Thomas' attorney argued the sentence was excessive, given his client's age and other factors, including Thomas' previous good character. Director of Public Prosecution Anthony Armstrong agreed the sentence should be amended on the basis that the trial judge erred in principle when he handed down the sentence. The DPP opined, and the Justices of Appeal agreed. The judge appeared to have been influenced by a mandatory minimum sentence imposed by Parliament. These stipulations are frowned upon by the court as they limit the judge's power of discretion. The DPP added the sentence fell outside the normal range of sentences for such offences in the jurisdiction and suggested a range of 15 to 18 years. The Court of Appeal subsequently reduced the sentence from 23 to 18 years.
On the global front now, gridlock in Catalonia as a general strike bites. The strike was called by the two main civic groups who support independence with demands that their leaders be freed from prison.
Roads have been blocked in Spain's Catalonia region as pro-independence supporters took to the streets as part of a general strike. Some public transport was disrupted and shops closed, but major stores were reported to be open as usual. The strike was called by the two main civic groups who support independence, with demands that their leaders be freed from prison and sedition charges against them be lifted. Minor clashes were reported as police attempted to move some protesters. The strike took place as Spain's constitutional court officially annulled the Catalan Parliament's unilateral declaration of independence last month.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.